And we do that again with more uniformed enthusiasm. Are we ready for another act? I want you going absolutely mental now for Mr. James Murray! Stupid fucking poopy voice, I've actually got the cold. Yeah, it's not the virus, you can tell, because I'm too fucking fat. It's really just a fucking addiction to cocaine, it's just too much. Is anyone else ill? Well, obviously you, but that's mental illness. Now, has anyone else got the flu or anything like that? That's nice, spreading your fucking lurgy. It'll be a change from VD, madam, so good for you. Right, okay, are we ready for another act? Right, okay, now I'm sorry, due to my illness, I can't remember the name of the next act, so Gavin, can you prompt me?
Rury Mason.
Thank you, right, go absolutely mental now for Mr. Rury Mason!
Yes! Here we are. What's happening? Happy New Year. My name's Rury, this is the first time I've ever done stand-up, so if you'll all treat me gingerly this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Treat me like glass, I'm fragile tonight. Treat me gingerly. I don't know if you ever saw that documentary, The Boy Whose Skin Fell Off on Channel 4. You ever see that shit? Creepy shit. Like, it's very odd. If you haven't seen it, it's about this guy who had this kind of 1 in a million skin condition. His skin was like phyllo pastry, ladies and gentlemen. Very odd little guy. There was times I was watching it, he didn't even look real. He looked kind of like one of Jim Henson's creations. Like Creature Workshop, little motherfucking looking, like dandruff man. Little cornflake man. Very odd. I mean, I was just sitting there like, you know, it's like real car crash TV, I was just glued to the screen. It's kind of like, just glued, eyes glazed over, covered in popcorn for an hour, just dry boking. Just like... just watching it, boking, looking at him. It's just a very creepy individual. But you know, it's kind of funny with little guys like that. You kind of think, well, I guess, you know, there's nothing too bad with that little guy. He's got it all together. He's got his shit together. They treated him with love, though. People loved him. I mean, his mother, she was there. She was by his side. She was right behind him, not with a strap on. She was there for him. She loved him. He was terminally ill, for fuck's sake. She treated him gingerly. She just loved him. The nurses, caring, doting people, selfless people, just there 23.5 hours a day, rubbing Nivea cream into his forehead and balls, and other places. Rubbing cream up him, putting cream up him, up his arse. He was crusty inside as well as out. He was a nice wee guy. I liked him. They treated him gingerly because he was fragile. They treated him like glass. And I'd like it tonight if you guys would treat me the way they treated the boy whose skin fell off. Would you treat me like that? See, if I start to flake on stage, will you rub cream up me? I'll touch my toes, will you rub cream up me? Cream up me? Because like, you could all maybe become friends then, or you could care for me. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. Let's talk about something a little less morbid, a little less creepy. Let's talk about paedophiles. Paedophiles... Who does that? Question for you. Who fucking does that? Who fucks kids? Who's into that? Who has sex with children? What's that about? I mean, who sits on the computer downloading pictures of naked children to wank off to? What's that about? Who sits there downloading pictures of kids like this? Kids posing it. How much do they get paid for that? Probably not as much as adult porn stars. I don't know. But who sits there downloading pictures of kids like that? Well, little girls anyway. Who's into that? It's pretty wrong, if you ask me, and I'm not just jumping on the social bandwagon. I used to live with a paedophile, so I've kind of formed my own opinion from my own experiences. And if I thought it was bad living with a normal person, living with a beast is like probably 3 times, maybe like 2 times worse than living with a normal person. It's worse. It's worse. I mean, every day I'd come in at the flat, I'd put the key in the lock, I'd turn the lock, I'd open the door and I'd look down, and it'd be the same kind of shit. Like the same sight every day of the week, different day, same stuff. I'd be like, yo Frankie, leave the dishes. Yeah, I'm back, man, leave the dishes. What the fuck are these, man? What the fuck are these? I'm serious, man, this is an illness, dude. I can't put up with this shit anymore. This is an illness. This is wrong. This is fundamentally wrong, man. Can you not see? Look at these, man. A pair of 10-year-old boys, Thomas the Tank Engine Y-fronts, just sitting in the middle of the hallway floor. This is wrong. How hard is it just to drop something in the laundry basket, man? It's right there. This place is a pigsty, man. It's not my fault. Do I look Filipino? Do I look like a mate? No. You know what I mean? Work with me. We're cohabitating here. Think, man. Think about others. And buy a Glade plug-in every now and again. The place reeks of cum. Children's cum. I didn't even know kids could cum, but they do because it smells a bit sweeter. It's like candy floss. You can tell these things when you live with a beast for a while. Nice guy though, nice guy. But my point, I suppose, is paedophiles, messy and smelly. If you see that ad, ignore it. Ignore it. Live with somebody else. Live with someone. Maybe an old school chum. Whatever, someone you trust. But yeah, I'd like to finish on something slightly more jovial, a little more fun. And it's more of a word of advice for all the guys in the audience. Next time you're measuring your dick, I do weekly. I presume everybody else does as well. Next time you're measuring your cock, don't make the same mistake my friend at school made. We're 14, to set the scene, we're 14. We're in the PE locker room. And I've asked him how long his cock is. I'm not, well, I may be mildly homosexually curious, but I'm definitely no poof. I've asked him how long his knob is, just to find out where we stand, you know. And he's replied, no word of a lie, he's replied, 10 or 11 inches. 10 or 11 inches? I'm like, man, I can't quite, I don't know how this isn't sitting, that's awful long for a kid. That's a long dick for a kid. Like, man, you're 14, you're from Preston Pans, not the fucking Gambia. That's a big cock for a child. And he's like, man, it's 10 or 11 when it's erect. When it's erect, man. And I'm like, well, thanks for clearing that one up, Sherlock, when it's erect. You're 14, you're from Preston Pans, not the fucking Amazon basin. Plate lip and a dick like a draft excluder, you know? So I'm still having trouble grasping this. I'm like, well, when you're measuring it, you're measuring it from where to where? Like from, you know, when you get the ruler out, what are you doing? Is that, what the fuck do you mean? I'm measuring it from end to end, from top to bottom, from top to bottom, top to bottom, and that's where it's kind of twigged, you know, it's twigged. I'm like, that's cool, from end to end, you'd measure it that way. From top to bottom, yes, you'd measure, that's the length of it. But from the top to your fucking bottom. Jesus Christ, man, I've got a 15.5-inch cock if I measure it all the way to my arsehole. He's measuring his cock all the way to his arse. Who does that? Surely the length of your cock is the amount of it you can get in somebody or something. I mean, there's been times of a sexual drought where if a jar of hot liver has been a sexual partner, but for Christ's sake, if you can get your cock, balls, scrotum and arse in another human being, you're a better man than I. And frankly, you should join the circus because you're one hell, and I mean one hell of a contortionist. Thanks guys, cheers.
A huge round of applause for Rury Mason! His first time, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay, let's have another act of what you're going absolutely mental now for Mr. Stuart.